IAG is an organization that works in requirements definition management. We're specialists in that field. We work with something like 300 of the Fortune 500 companies out there, and we help those organizations define their business processes and what they need to accomplish or their business need for large-scale system development types of activity. The issue in larger-scale engagements is that you've got maybe 10, 15, 20 analysts that are all working on the same current state analysis. And the issue is that you need all of those people to be doing work in an exactly similar way. And you need very consistent execution. You need very high quality product coming out of them. So very high quality analysis coming back from that team. So if you don't give them a tool environment that they can run and go across, one system for one area, one system from another, one system from another area, and be able to compare all those tools together or compare all those models together, then you've failed. StereoLOGIC is a software tool that we use for capturing the current state and the business processes that exist within a company automatically. There really isn't anything else like it. It's really designed as an extraction tool. It's designed to look at the existing information environment and be able to pull the screens, pull the process, assemble automatically that process steps in sequence so that you're not trying to do that through Visio and all these other kind of tooling environment and try to capture screenshots and things like that. So it's all there. It's one place. What's the screen? What's the process? What's the information environment underneath? And they have a place where they can elaborate rules and things like that. Pull all that together so you got a pretty good distillation of exactly how that existing process works. So there's a number of ways that you could potentially try to accomplish a current state analysis. And one of the challenges in terms of the other ways of doing it is that it takes a very long period of time. Whether you're doing structured interviews with groups of people, or you're trying to do reverse engineering, or you're trying to do other kinds of ways of extracting the current state analysis. And so many of those ways are very limited in terms of they don't function across platform, or they don't allow you to do it with the speed that you need. It is the modernization of unemployment insurance tax and benefit systems for a consortium of states. What that means is 140 or so professionals coming together from different state agencies. What StereoLOGIC does is it helps us to fairly simply manage that work process across many consultants and make sure that those consultants are working in an exactly similar way across all parts of that engagement. There's a difference between what people think happens, and if you ask a group of stakeholders, sometimes they'll give you one view, and then you go back into the information systems environment and say, well, how can that actually happen? Because the systems aren't set up that way. So what this allows us to do is capture what I'll call tribal behaviors. How do people actually perform certain functions within the systems environment? What you're really able to do is remove some of those significant risks that what people tell you that they do versus what they actually do in real life. In this case, what we were able to do is compress the amount of time required to do the current state analysis by about 2/3. And what that means is that you've got, in about 1/3 the amount of time, you've got a much better capturing of the processes and the workflows underlying this information system. And what that means is that it translates into very significant savings for the government and ultimately the taxpayer. We have an active strategy in the area of modernization that we are working with StereoLOGIC as one of our key partners. And we need to do that because a lot of times people don't necessarily know what their existing processes are when you're dealing with a modernization environment. And you need to have that understanding of the tribal behavior that goes on within an organization, and StereoLOGIC is a great tool to be using in that area. Not only the consistency that you can enforce in the way people conduct the work effort, but also the speed with which they can conduct that activity.